Hello students, under the aegis of Director General Higher Education Haryana, myself Dr. Neeru, Assistant Professor in Zoology, Shrimati Aruna Asaf Ali Government PG College Kalka, will discuss with you today Type Study of Rat Part 2. Now we will discuss the next system, respiratory system of the rat. Respiratory system consists of two parts, respiratory tract and number two is the respiratory organs. So first of all we will take respiratory tract. क्या क्या आता है respiratory tract में? सबसे पहले आता है external nares. वो क्या है? It is the pair of oblique openings of nasal chambers. And कहाँ पर है इनकी position external nares की? Just below the tip of the snout. Next is the nasal chambers. These are the long passages present above the palate. और हर पैसेज जो है डिफरेंशिएटेड इनटू 3 रीजन्स हैं उसके. नेजल चैम्बर के हर पैसेज के 3 रीजन्स हैं. वो कौन कौन से हैं? वेस्टिबुलर, रेस्पिरेटरी एंड ऑल्फैक्टरी. जो वेस्टिबुलर रीजन है बहुत छोटा है, वेरी शॉर्ट एंड इट इज लाइंड विद द स्किन. और इसके अंदर हेयर, स्वेट ग्लैंड्स और सेबेशियस ग्लैंड्स आर प्रेजेंट. Next is the respiratory region and olfactory region. ये both these two regions they constitute the greater part of the nasal cavity. और इस region में क्या present होता है? 3 nasal conchae are present. वो क्या होते हैं? ये coiled से scroll like projections होती हैं bones की. मतलब कुछ जो bones हैं वो कौन सी? nasal, maxillary और ethmoid bones जो है वो coiled हो जाती हैं और थोड़ा थोड़ा project करती हैं इस nasal cavity में और 3 कॉन्चे बना देती हैं. वो कॉन्चे क्या हैं? उनके नाम क्या हैं? सुपीरियर और डोर्सल nasal concha which is also called as nasoturbinates, lateral nasal concha which is also called as ethmoturbinates, and inferior or ventral nasal concha which are called as maxilloturbinates. You can see these in this diagram. All these conchae you can see in this diagram. तो respiratory region है, it is mainly represented by the lateral and ventral concha and it is covered by the respiratory epithelium which has a number of mucus gland cells. जो olfactory region है, it is covered by the mainly represented by the superior or dorsal concha and it is covered by the olfactory epithelium which is also called as Schneiderian membrane. And this membrane has many nerve endings. उसके बाद क्या प्रेजेंट होते हैं? डिफरेंट साइनसेस प्रेजेंट होते हैं, डिफरेंट स्पेसेस प्रेजेंट होते हैं जिनको साइनसेस भी कह देते हैं, विच आर लाइंड बाय द सिलिएटेड म्यूकस मेम्ब्रेन्स एंड दीज स्पेसेस कम्युनिकेट विद द नेजल चैम्बर्स. तो डिफरेंट स्पेसेस भी जो है वो नेजल चैम्बर से कम्युनिकेट करते हैं. और ये जो नेजल चैम्बर्स हैं ये किसमें ओपन होते हैं? नेजोफेरिंग्स में विद द हेल्प ऑफ इंटरनल नेरिस. जो नेक्स्ट पार्ट है वो इंटरनल नेरिस है, ओपनिंग ऑफ नेजल चैम्बर इनटू द नेजोफेरिंग्स. और नेजल चैम्बर्स का रोल क्या है? नेजल चैम्बर्स जो है दे फिल्टर द एयर, condition the temperature of the air according to the body temperature, moistens the air and sterilize the air. जो respiratory tract में air आती है वो nasal chamber में आके filter होती है, उसका temperature body temperature के according adjust हो जाता है और sterilize भी हो जाती है वो air और moisten भी हो जाती है. उसके बाद जो है दोनों जो nasal chambers हैं वो उनकी opening जो है nasopharynx में किसके थ्रू होती है? internal nares के थ्रू. और इंटरनल नेरिस जो है इट इज कवर्ड बाय इव्यूला which hangs from the soft palate. Pharynx फेरिंग्स जो है इंटरनल लैरिंग्स कौन से पार्ट में रिसीव करता है, उसके नेजोफेरिंग्स पार्ट में। Now the larynx, which is also called as the voice box of the rat, which helps in the sound production in the rat. This larynx is present in the laryngopharynx part of the pharynx, and it is supported by the four cartilages, pair of arytenoid cartilages and ring-like cricoid cartilages and thyroid cartilages. So you can see the diagram of these cartilages, larynx of the rat. One opening is there which is called as glottis. It helps in joining the larynx with the pharynx. Or a flap like epiglottis covers the glottis. तो it prevents the epiglottis का क्या रोल है इस कवरिंग का कि it prevents the entry of food in the larynx and trachea during swallowing of food. क्योंकि pharynx में मैंने आपको पहले भी बताया है कि फूड की डाइजेशन का भी काम होता है, ओरोफेरिंग्स भी है उसमें डाइजेशन के लिए, लैरिंगोफेरिंग्स भी है उसमें, नेजो भी है। तो जो ग्लॉटिस है वो हेल्प करता है एक ओपनिंग लैरिंग्स को फेरिंग्स से जोड़ने में, और एपिग्लॉटिस का काम क्या है, टू कवर द ग्लॉटिस, कि जब फूड की एंट्री हो रही हो तो वो ट्रेकिया या विंड पाइप में ना चली जाए, वॉइस बॉक्स में ना चली जाए। तो दो टाइप की वोकल कॉर्ड्स जो हैं दे आर प्रेजेंट इन द रैट, and these vocal cords are present between thyroid and arytenoid cartilage in the form of membranous folds. Anterior pair of vocal cords is a false pair of vocal cords and posterior pair is called as true vocal cords. You can see these membranous vocal cords in this diagram which are present between the thyroid cartilage and arytenoid cartilage, false vocal cord and true vocal cord. So at rest, these vocal cords are present and at acute angle to one another, और जब साउंड प्रोड्यूस करनी होती है तो these vocal cords are brought parallel and closer to each other. तो laryngeal muscles उसके लिए कॉन्ट्रैक्ट होती हैं, दोनों vocal cords एक दूसरे के पास आ जाती हैं और एयर एकदम प्रेशर से इन मेम्ब्रेन से इन vocal cords से निकलती है, तो उसकी वजह से ये vocal cords वाइब्रेट होती है और टिपिकल साउंड जो एनिमल की वो प्रोड्यूस होती है। So this is the role of larynx to produce the voice. Next part is of the respiratory tract is the trachea. So what is trachea? It is a long, thin-walled, non-collapsible tube. You can see the trachea in this diagram. It is supported by 35 to 40 C-shaped transverse cartilaginous rings. And then trachea divides into two primary bronchi. Here you can see trachea divides into two primary bronchi. Singular is the bronchus and bronchi is the plural word. तो दो bronchi में trachea divide हो जाता है और जैसे ही ये bronchi lungs में enter होती है, primary bronchi they divide into secondary bronchi which further divide into tertiary bronchi, और फिर आगे जो है ये bronchi they divide into bronchioles. You can see all this in this diagram. Secondary bronchi, tertiary bronchi, they break into bronchioles in the lung and आगे alveoli of the lung. Now we will discuss the respiratory organs of the lung. So in rat, respiration occurs with the help of a pair of lungs. They are the main respiratory organ of the rat. They are the soft, elastic and spongy organs, and they are present in airtight thoracic cavity on either side of the heart. So what is the position of lungs? They are in the thoracic cavity. Lungs are covered by the pleura. The two-layered peritoneal sac is present around the lungs. Inner lining is called as visceral pleuron and outer lining is called as parietal pleuron. So these two pleural membranes are continuous over the primary bronchus too. And between these layers there is a narrow pleural cavity. तो pleural cavity का काम क्या होता है? It has the pleural fluid which performs the three functions. It allows the free frictionless movement of lungs. It protects the lungs from mechanical shocks. जब lungs expand होते हैं तो उसके लिए एक space provide करता है और keeps the pleura together. Now the structure of the lung. You can see the diagram of lung here. The lung is mainly conical shaped. Narrow apex है इसका, upper narrow apex है और lower broader base है. Upper region, middle region, lower region. Right lung is slightly larger and broader in size and it is divided into 4 lobes. And left lung is single lobed, you can see here. And lobes of right lung are named as anterior lobe, middle lobe, posterior lobe and the postcaval lobe. उसके बाद जो पहले मैंने आपको ब्रोंकियल्स का स्ट्रक्चर बताया था कि ट्रेकिया चेंजेस इनटू प्राइमरी ब्रोंकस एंड देन प्राइमरी ब्रोंकस डिवाइड इनटू सेकेंडरी ब्रोंकस एंड सेकेंडरी इनटू डिफरेंट टर्शियरी एंड ब्रोंक्यूल्स. तो वो जितने भी टर्शियरी ब्रोंकाई के बाद ब्रोंक्यूल्स होते हैं दे डिवाइड इनटू एल्वियोलर डक्ट्स और उसके अंदर ये लंग में ये सारा जो है टर्शियरी ब्रोंकाई जो है लंग्स के अंदर आके ब्रोंक्यूल्स में डिवाइड हो जाते हैं. तो वहां पर ब्रोंक्यूल्स फिर किसमें और डिवाइड हो जाती हैं? एल्वियोलर डक्ट्स में. एंड दीज एल्वियोलर डक्ट्स ultimately open into the air sacs and which is also called as infundibulum. Now what is the mechanism of respiration? It involves the 3 steps: inspiration, exchange of gases and expiration. What is inspiration? It involves the intake of the fresh air by the animal. तो ये जो इंस्पिरेशन है इट इज एन एक्टिव प्रोसेस. एक्टिव प्रोसेस मींस इट इन्वॉल्व्स मसल कंट्रैक्शन. तो जब तक मसल्स कॉन्ट्रैक्ट नहीं होंगी इंस्पिरेशन नहीं होगा. और कौन कौन सी मसल्स इन्वॉल्व होती है इंस्पिरेशन में? फ्रेनिक मसल्स एंड एक्सटर्नल इंटरकोस्टल मसल्स. When phrenic muscles contract, they increase the thoracic cavity anterior-posteriorly, and when external intercostal muscles contract, ribs are pulled forward, downward and outward. So thoracic cavity increases dorsoventrally and laterally. So ultimately दोनों मसल्स की कॉन्ट्रैक्शन से क्या हो जाता है? थोरेसिक कैविटी जो है उसका स्पेस बढ़ जाता है. तो इसकी वजह से क्या हो जाएगा? लंग्स के अंदर लंग्स भी एक्सपेंड हो जाएंगे और इट डिक्रीजेस द इंट्रापल्मोनरी प्रेशर. जो उसके अंदर एयर होती है लंग्स में उसका प्रेशर जो है वो डिक्रीज हो जाता है और बाहर की एयर का प्रेशर ज्यादा हो जाता है. तो बाय द प्रोसेस ऑफ डिफ्यूजन फ्रेश एयर रशेस इनटू द लंग थ्रू द रेस्पिरेटरी ट्रैक्ट एंड दिस प्रोसेस इज कॉल्ड एज इंस्पिरेशन. Next process is the exchange of gases. तो alveoli में ऑक्सीजन ऑफ एयर एंड CO2 ऑफ ब्लड जो है वो एक्सचेंज होती है बिटवीन द इन द कैपिलरीज ऑफ एल्वियोलाई. इट also involves the principle of diffusion or ultimately air becomes foul and this foul air is expelled out of the body through the process of expiration. But expiration is a passive process. It doesn't involve contraction of any muscle. It involves relaxation of these muscles. जो inspiratory muscles है phrenic और intercostal muscles उनकी relaxation हो जाएगी. तो उस relaxation से की वजह से अपने आप ही फाउल एयर जो है वो बाहर चली जाएगी और जो लंग्स और थोरेक्स है वो फिर से अपनी प्रॉपर शेप में आ जाएंगे। तो फाउल एयर जो बाहर जाएगी वो क्या पाथ फॉलो करती है, एल्वियोलाई से एल्वियोलर डक्ट्स में, फिर ब्रोंक्यूल्स में, फिर ब्रोंकियाई में, देन ट्रेकिया, देन लैरिंग्स, ग्लॉटिस से होता हुआ फेरिंग्स में, then nasal chambers and then nostrils and then outside. So foul air is expelled outside through by following this path. Let's discuss blood vascular system now. The main components of blood vascular system are heart, arterial system, venous system and blood. First of all, we will discuss about the heart. Heart is a thick muscular contractile structure present in the body of rat. It is an automatic pumping organ and it is the busiest organ of the rat. Now, what is the position and shape of the heart? It is present in the thoracic cavity between the two pleura which enclose the lung. Its broader side is called as base and its pointed side is called as apex. A thin transparent two-layered sac is present around the heart which is called as pericardium. Inner layer of this pericardium is called as visceral pericardium and outer layer is called as parietal pericardium, and there is a narrow cavity present between the two layers which is called as pericardial cavity. This pericardial cavity is internally filled with a watery fluid which is called as pericardial fluid, which helps in the frictionless movements of the heart, and it also protects the heart from the mechanical shocks. Now we will discuss about the internal structure of heart. In rat, heart is four-chambered, made up of two auricles and two ventricles. And there is a complete separation of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood in the heart. So this heart acts as a double pump. Now we will discuss the auricles or atria. Two auricles are present in the heart of rat, right auricle and left auricle. Both the auricles are thin-walled and smooth-walled because they have to push the blood only up to the ventricles. A few network of ridges is present in the walls of auricles which are called as musculi pectinati. Both the auricles are separated by a septum which is called as interauricular septum, and it prevents the mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. Now the right auricle, it receives the deoxygenated blood by three large veins. They are superior vena cava, inferior vena cava and coronary sinus. Superior vena cava is also called as precaval and it receives the blood from head, forelimbs and upper part of the chest. Inferior vena cava is also called as postcaval and it receives the blood from lower part of the trunk and hind limbs. Coronary sinus, it receives deoxygenated blood from wall of heart. Both the opening of inferior vena cava is guarded by a valve of Eustachius and opening of coronary sinus is guarded by a valve of Thebesius. In this diagram, you can see the right auricle, here present left auricle, this is the right ventricle and this is the left ventricle, and different aorta and vena cava present in the heart. Uh, right auricle open into the right ventricle by an right auriculoventricular aperture, and this aperture is guarded by a valve which is formed of three flaps which are also called as cusps, and that is why it is called as tricuspid valve. This valve regulates the unidirectional flow of blood from right auricle to right ventricle and prevents the backflow of blood. Some elastic threads are also present near this wall which are called as chordae tendineae, which also help prevent the backflow of blood from ventricle to auricle. Now the left auricle, it receives oxygenated blood from lungs by 4 pulmonary veins. 2 veins arise from each lung and they don't have any valve in it. Left auricle also opens into the left ventricle by an aperture which is called as left auriculoventricular aperture, and this aperture is guarded by an valve which is formed of 2 flaps or cusps, and that is why it is called as bicuspid valve or mitral valve. Here in this diagram you can see the right auricle, left auricle, right ventricle, left ventricle, and here it is present tricuspid valve, here it is present bicuspid valve which is also called as mitral valve. You can see the superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, pulmonary artery, pulmonary vein, and different aorta and veins present around the heart. Now the ventricles. Both the ventricles are thick and rough walled, and they have different ridges and grooves present in their wall. Different ridges are called as, they are of 2 types. A network of ridges which are low, they are called as columni carni or trabeculi, or few well developed ridges are called as papillary muscles or musculi papillaris. And both the auricles, they are separated by a thick interventricular septum, so as there should not be any mixing of deoxygenated and oxygenated blood in the ventricular part of the heart. Now the right ventricle. From the left anterior corner of the right ventricle arises a pulmonary aorta. It carries deoxygenated blood to the lungs. And now the left ventricle, from right corner of the left ventricle there originates aortic arch or systemic arch, and it carries oxygenated blood to various parts of the body. Both the openings of pulmonary arch and aortic arch, they are guarded by walls which are called as pulmonary walls and aortic walls, and these both the walls are formed of 3 semilunar walls. So they allow blood to enter the arteries from ventricle but prevent the backflow of blood into the ventricle. Now we will discuss the arterial system, the system which carries the blood away from the heart through the arteries. It is called as arterial system. Two main systems are present in the rat: pulmonary system and number 2, aortic system. Pulmonary system consists of blood supply from right ventricle of the heart to the lungs. It consists of pulmonary arch which divides into right and left pulmonary arteries, and it carries blood to the lungs. Aortic system, it distributes the blood, oxygenated blood, from the left ventricle to the all the systems of the body. For this, a systemic arch, it arises from the anterior corner of the left ventricle, and it turns backward and run along the mid dorsal line of the rat as the dorsal aorta, and it's give rise to different branches to supply the oxygenated blood to various parts, and these branches are: first is coronary artery. A pair of coronary arteries, they arise from the base of the systemic arch and it supply blood to the heart wall itself. Innominate artery, it bifurcates into two arteries, right common carotid artery and right subclavian artery. Right common carotid artery runs forward in the head region through the neck and it divides into two, external carotid artery and internal carotid artery, and they supply blood to the right side of the head and face and internal carotid artery to the right side of the brain. In this diagram, you can see the arterial system of red. Here is the right external carotid artery. Here is the left internal carotid artery. Then there is right subclavian artery, which supply blood to the right forelimb. This is the right subclavian artery supplying blood to the forelimb. Here is the left subclavian. So this right subclavian artery divides into two branches. Right mammary artery, it supplies blood to the thorax and mammary glands, and right brachial artery, which supplies blood to the right forelimb. Then there is left common carotid artery. It arises from the left side of systemic aorta and it's also supplies like the blood to the left side of the head. Left subclavian artery, it originates from the left side of systemic arch and it supplies blood to the left forelimb and left mammary glands like the right subclavian. Next are the intercostal arteries. These are the several pairs of small arteries. They supply blood to the thoracic wall, ribs present in the thoracic wall of from the dorsal aorta. Next is the phrenic arteries. Phrenic arteries जो है ये किसको ब्लड सप्लाई करती है? डायफ्राम को. नेक्स्ट इज द सीलिएक आर्टरी जिसकी 3 आर्टरीज है, हिपेटिक आर्टरी, गैस्ट्रिक आर्टरी एंड स्प्लीनिक आर्टरी. और ये किस किस को ब्लड सप्लाई करती है? हिपेटिक आर्टरी जो है ये लिवर को ब्लड सप्लाई करती है, गैस्ट्रिक आर्टरी जो है वो स्टमक को ब्लड सप्लाई करती है और जो स्प्लीनिक आर्टरी है वो स्प्लीन और पैनक्रियाज को ब्लड सप्लाई करती है. नेक्स्ट इज द एंटीरियर मेसेंट्रिक आर्टरी. इसकी भी वेरियस ब्रांचेस हैं. स्मॉल ब्रांचेस जैसे रीनल आर्टरीज, नाम से ही पता चल रहा है कि इट सप्लाइज ब्लड टू द किडनीज. जेनाइटल आर्टरीज जो कि जेनाइटल ऑर्गन्स को ब्लड सप्लाई करेंगी और इसमें अगर मेल होगा तो स्पर्मेटिक आर्टरीज बन जाएंगी और फीमेल होगा तो ओवेरियन आर्टरीज हो जाएंगी. इसी तरह से नेक्स्ट इज द इलियोल्यूम्बर आर्टरीज. ये भी पेयर ऑफ ब्लड वेसल्स है. दे सप्लाई ब्लड टू द डोर्सल वॉल ऑफ एब्डोमेन. नेक्स्ट इज द पोस्टीरियर मेसेंट्रिक आर्टरी. ये ब्लड सप्लाई करती है कोलन और रेक्टम को. और उसके बाद जो है डोर्सल अयोर्टा जो है कॉमन इलियक आर्टरीज में डिवाइड हो जाता है. तो ये ब्लड सप्लाई जो होती है कॉमन इलियक आर्टरीज की, ये दो ब्रांचेस में डिवाइड हो जाती है, इंटरनल इलियक और एक्सटर्नल इलियक आर्टरीज को में. तो इंटरनल इलियक जो है वो डोर्सल वॉल ऑफ द पेल्विक कैविटी को सप्लाई करती है ब्लड और एक्सटर्नल इलियक आर्टरी जो है वो ब्रांचेस भेजती है एब्डोमेन में और हाइंड लेग एंड में ब्लड सप्लाई करती है. इसके अलावा भी कुछ छोटी छोटी आर्टरीज होती है जैसे वेसिको यूट्राइन आर्टरी जो कि यूट्रस को और यूरिनरी ब्लैडर को ब्लड सप्लाई करेगी. उसके बाद आएगी पोस्टीरियर एपिगैस्ट्रिक आर्टरी जो कि ब्लड सप्लाई करेगी वेंट्रल वॉल ऑफ एब्डोमेन को. और उसके बाद नेक्स्ट होगी फीमोरल आर्टरी जो कि हाइंड लिब को ब्लड सप्लाई करेगी. और सबसे लास्ट में होगी देयर विल बी ए कॉर्डल आर्टरी जो कि डॉर्सल का aorta का बिल्कुल पोस्टीरियर पार्ट होगा, और एज ए थिन आर्टरी इट सप्लाइज ब्लड टू द sacrum and tail. Now we will discuss the venous system of the rat. The system which collects the blood from various parts of the body is called as venous system. In rat, this venous system is divided into four parts. First is the system of vena cava. This system includes three large vena cava, right and left anterior vena cava, which are also called as precavals, and a posterior vena cava, which is also called as postcaval. Now the right anterior vena cava, it is formed of union of six veins. These are the external jugular vein, subclavian vein, internal jugular vein, mammary vein, intercostal vein, and phrenic vein. External jugular vein, it is a large vein and it runs alongside of the neck and behind the face, and it is formed by the union of anterior and posterior facial veins. Subclavian veins, it brings blood from the right forelimb and shoulder. Internal jugular vein, it is a small vein and runs along the side of trachea, and it opens into the precaval, and it collects the blood from the brain and neck region. Mammary vein, this vein collects the blood from the mammary glands. Intercostal vein collects the blood from the anterior intercostal muscles. And this phrenic vein, it collects the blood from the diaphragm. Now the left anterior vena cava or precaval. Its branches are similar to the right anterior precaval, except it has one more vein which is called as azygous vein, which collects the blood from the posterior intercostal muscles of the both the sides. You can see in this diagram, right external jugular, left internal jugular, right axillary, right subclavian. This is the part of the left subclavian. Now the posterior vena cava or postcaval. This is the large median vein and it collects the blood from the posterior side of the body, like hind limbs, abdominal cavity, reproductive organs, kidneys, liver, etc. through various branches, and all the collected blood goes to the right auricle. It receives the following veins. First is the caudal vein. You can see in this diagram the caudal vein. This vein collects blood from the tail. Common iliac veins. These veins are formed of two veins, internal iliac and external iliac. Here you can see the iliac veins. तो इंटरनल इलियक जो है ये ब्लड कलेक्ट करती है बैक ऑफ थाइस से एंड पेल्विस से. एक्सटर्नल इलियक वेन जो है ये थ्री वेन्स की यूनियन से बनी होती है. femoral vein which collects the blood from the hind limb. वेसिकोयूट्राइन वेन जो कि ब्लड कलेक्ट करती है यूरिनरी ब्लैडर से एंड यूट्रस से. posterior epigastric vein which collects the blood from the ventral abdominal wall. Next is the iliolumbar veins. ये पेयर ऑफ लार्ज वेन्स हैं which collect the blood from the dorsal region of abdominal wall. Next is the genital veins, pair of veins collecting blood from the male or female genital organs. You can see here right genital vein in this diagram. Next is the renal veins. These are also pair of large veins which collect the blood from the kidneys. Next is the hepatic veins collecting blood from the lobes of liver. Now the portal system. A hepatic portal system is present in case of rat. A large hepatic portal vein collects the blood from the four veins in liver. These are the lineogastric vein, duodenal vein, anterior mesenteric vein, and posterior mesenteric vein. All these four veins, they collect the blood from the liver and form the hepatic portal vein. And this hepatic portal vein, it forms the capillaries, and from where the modified blood passes by the short and thick hepatic veins into the posterior vena cava of the rat. Next system present in the rat is the coronary system. In this system, small veins collect blood from the wall of the heart, and these veins are called as coronary veins. They join to form the coronary sinus, and they open into the right auricle. Next system present in case of rat is the pulmonary system. Here, two pulmonary veins collect the oxygenated blood from the two lungs, and both the veins join to form the common pulmonary vein, which open into the left auricle. Now the blood of the rat. Blood of rat consists of plasma, red corpuscles, also called as erythrocytes, white blood corpuscles, also called as leukocytes, and platelets, which are also called as thrombocytes. This plasma is a faint yellow liquid, and it is mainly made up of 90% water, and inorganic salts and few blood proteins and colloidal state are present in plasma of the blood. These red corpuscle or erythrocytes are circular, biconcave, and denucleated disc-shaped organelles, and they contain the respiratory pigment hemoglobin, which imparts red color to the blood. And because these red corpuscles are denucleated, so they have a very short lifespan. White corpuscles or leukocytes, they are rounded or irregular in shape. They are colorless and nucleated organelles, and they show a amoeboid movement, which enables them to pass out of the capillaries, and this process is called as diapedesis. These white blood corpuscles are of two types, agranulocytes and granulocytes. Agranulocytes are lacking the granules in their cytoplasm, and they are produced in the lymph nodes. Granulocytes have granules in their cytoplasm, and they are formed in the red bone marrow. Next is the platelets or thrombocytes, which are rounded or oval in shape. They are also non-nucleated and granular, and they help in the blood clotting. Blood has a very important role in the functioning of the red body. These red corpuscles, they carry oxygen from the lungs to the tissues for oxidation of food, and they release the energy for various life activities. White corpuscles, they act as the scavengers or soldiers of the body, and they kill foreign germs when they enter into the body. And similarly, blood platelets, they help in the clotting of the blood. Now, the lymphatic system of the rat. This system is formed of delicate tubes, lymphatic vessels, which are formed by joining of very fine lymphatic capillaries. These lymphatic capillaries, they drain into the tissue spaces, and they join to form the lymph sinuses. Lymphatic system contains a fluid in it, which is called as lymph. It is a colorless fluid, and it is white in color, or it is like the connective tissue, and it is formed of two parts, plasma and leukocytes. Plasma is the fluid matrix of the lymph, and it is similar to the blood plasma except some proteins, calcium and phosphorus. Leukocytes, they are floating amoeboid cells present in the lymph, and they are similar to the lymphocytes of the blood. Next is the lymph capillaries. They are the tubules of greater diameter than the blood capillaries. No walls are present in the lymph capillaries, and their one end is blind, and they are lined by the very thin walled endothelium, which helps in the diffusion of the lymph. Next is the lymphatic vessels. These are formed by the joining of the lymphatic capillaries. They are thick walled and they have walls in them, and they are internally lined by elastic and collagenous fibers and smooth vessels. And the small lymphatic vessels, they join to form the large lymphatic trunk or duct. Two types of lymphatic ducts are there in the rat: thoracic duct and right lymphatic ducts. Thoracic duct is a larger duct present on the dorsal side of the rat, and it opens into the left subclavian vein of the rat, and it collects lymph from the entire body except right side of head, neck and thorax. Right lymphatic duct, it is a smaller vessel and it collects the blood from the right side of the head, neck and thorax and right forelimb, and it joins with the right subclavian. Here in this diagram, you can see different type of lymph capillaries and these lymphatic ducts opening into the various veins of the rat. Now the lymph nodes. Lymph nodes are abundant in superficial parts of head and neck of the rats. They are the masses of the lymphatic tissues, and they are mainly formed of the collagenous and reticular fibers, and they are mainly covered by the thick membranes and contain lymphocytes, plasma cells and macrophages in them. इनका रोल क्या होता है lymph nodes का? Here lymph is filtered out. तो phagocyte cells जो है, they kill the various type of foreign organisms, and plasma cells, they produce antibodies here. You can see here various type of lymph nodes present in the rat. Now what are lymphatic nodules? They are also small rounded masses of lymphocytes and plasma cells, but they are not covered by the hard coverings like the lymph nodes. So lymph nodes, and they are covered by the hard covering, but lymphatic nodules, they are without the hard coverings, and they are present in a lymph node or they may be present independently. और इसका एक example है Pierce patches, which are present in the wall of the small intestine. Next is the lymphatic herds. These are the structures having muscular and contractile walls, and they are mainly present at the junction of lymphatic vessels and vein. And इनका role क्या है? They help in pumping the lymph in the veins, and their openings are mainly guarded by the semilunar walls. Now we will discuss the questions associated with this part of the type study of rat. Here are a few very short answer questions. Question number 1 is, what is Schneiderian membrane? Next question is, what is epiglottis? Third question is, what is tricuspid valve? And next is, what is mitral valve? Then, how many chambered heart is present in rat? And next question is, what are Pierce patches? Here are a few short answer questions. Question number 1 is, write a note on the larynx of rat. Next question is, describe the respiratory tract of rat. And next question number 3 is, write a note on respiratory organ of rat. Fourth question is, describe lymphatic system of rat. And fifth question is, write a short note on heart of rat. Here are a few long answer questions which you can attempt. Question number 1 is, give a detailed account of respiratory system of rat. Explain the arterial system of rat. And give a detailed account of venous system of rat. Thank you.